All right, good morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Can you hear me? Mic checker. Dude, peep game on Nvidia. What's this little massive $6 candle that came out of nowhere? Ruined my day. Bounced right off of that trend line though, yo. Oh, so frustrating. I was hoping it was going to break that trend line and have a down day. Well, unfortunately, no. Nvidia is ripping. The Qs are dropping though, so I don't know if this is real. Right? Q broke support. I hate these. I don't know if this is a real deal or if it's just a blip. Anyway, good morning. I'm Dark Pool Algo. Thanks for joining me on another morning watchlist building session. Today is Wednesday, March 30th, 2022, and the stock market is gonna go crazy. We have a ton of Wu-Tang reversals getting ready to set up, and yeah, things have been pretty good. I've been feeling better. I'm glad that I was able to get some rest over the last couple days. Sorry, I gotta get my desktop set up here. What happened to what happened to Discord? Oh, there it is. I was like, my Discord disappeared. It disappeared. I have been doing real quick, make sure y'all like the video, please. I have been doing a immersive 8-week trading psychology course that has taught me so much just in the first couple weeks. It's also kind of scrambled my eggs, scrambled my brain for a minute, just that it brings up a lot of I have a deeper understanding about why I self-sabotage and do some of the things that I do when it comes to trading. So, which is interesting, but it's not like, oh, it's just going to go wreck my trading style. It's giving me tools that they're going to help improve it without even really focusing on trading as much as you would think. So with that being said, we have a little bit of news to get into, and then we will get going. I want to look at, look at this BS Robinhood. Doublers. All right, let's get into it. We have some news. Micron had earnings, remember. We were going to look at them. In technology, China's tax regulator says will crack down on tax evasion in its booming live streaming industry and will start requiring online platforms to report live streamers' identities, revenue, and profit every 6 months. Okay, that's only going to affect these Chinese companies like Bilibili, Hua, TME, KWeb, right? Momo, right? So KWeb, right? It's going to affect them. I think that's bearish, to be honest with you, right? Anytime the tax guys get in there, don't want them getting all up in your business. Sorry. Where's the Discord link? Killer, come on, bro. Really? You don't have the Discord link? I got you. Hold on. Maybe. I don't know. Huh. Interesting. How come it doesn't give me the link? All right. Hold on. If that works. Don't expect much out of it. It's just so when Dark Pool Charts made the transition from its previous place, there needed to be a place for people to land, and that's just what it is. It's not anything special. But if you want to check it out, it's cool. I do my morning briefing there as well. I just drop the whole thing in a chat. So I also share important news there. Okay. Micron, boom, check it out, yo. Check it out. Micron shares are up 3% off of good earnings and guiding good revenue. They're saying global chip supply is experiencing pressure due to the impact of the Russia-Ukraine war. Sees PC unit shipments flat this year from 2021. Sees strong growth in data center SSDs is continuing. Most importantly, it made a nice move up to weekly mid, daily top, pullback to test the 50-day 4-hour top, right? If it gets any sort of a pullback to 83.50, then I think it's got enough juice to get it back up through the daily top on its way up to previous highs. So look for the slight bull flag breakout that it's forming right here, right? So if it has a nice bull flag breakout today, I'd look to go long. You can play 85, or you can play 86 to 88, and then 88 to previous highs of 94. Okay. All right. That's it. Really much in telecom, or technology, media, telecom. We have a little bit of healthcare news. Yes, we took our eye off of this little BZ and look at it go. What a strong recovery. 162 to 188. Yeah, we just ignored it for the last couple days. Looking good coming out of the 4-hour top. If it can break above 188.32 in Moderna. Moderna has room to go to 205 or 200, 205. Right? Looks really good. Slingshot squeeze getting ready to release. Stack positive moving averages coming out the top of the daily and the 4-hour Celts. Like I said, if it can break previous highs, it can launch. Contrarian, right? If it does pull back, 177, 175 possibly. That'd be that 200-day, be the 30-minute bottom or the 60-minute bottom. Yeah, 175 to the downside, and then go long above 188. So Moderna, if you want to put it back on your lists, there should be some movement in it today. There's no news on it, but just it can get back on our list. Bntx, which is something similar, right? They do COVID stuff. They had earnings Q4 and forward year 21 revenues at about 5.5 billion and 19 billion. Expects to authorize share repurchase program of up to 1.5 billion and will propose a special cash dividend of about $2 per share. They reiterates their 2022 vaccine revenue guidance of about 13 to 17 billion euros. Okay, that's pretty good. Again, not super thrilled with this little doji that we got going on here. That could indicate a pullback to the daily top, 175. Right, 175, 176, somewhere in there. I think there's a fib level in there somewhere, but if it pulls back to the 13 or the 21, right, through the 4-hour top, through the daily top, to the 4-hour mid, to 168, right, that'd be a big pullback. Maybe a little pullback to 180, and then it continues to move on. This is a good example right here of a slingshot squeeze releasing, right? Slingshot squeeze releasing. See how it released here and exploded and went 173 to 189. This is when that squeeze released right here. Right? You got that big movement up. Targeting weekly mid at 209, 200 being psychological level, right? It's good to go. Bntx. So healthcare, if it's either going to pull back to support and then rip over the next couple of days, or it's just going to continue. That squeeze being released is just going to continue to propel it forward. Yes, I know it had earnings. Try to get next week's calls if you're going to go long on it. Okay. All right. Teva issues voluntary nationwide recall of one lot of its drug due to the presence of particulate matter. Recall initiated on basis of internal inspection that found particulate matter in one vial of its product identified as silica and iron oxide rust, right? So there's rust in one of their vials. Imagine that. What happens when you hit the 200-day? Oh, we found stuff in our drugs. Yeah, excuses. Financials, UBS, Citibank. Here we go. Citi has reached an agreement with Axis Bank for the sale of its consumer business to India for 1.6 billion, following a competitive auction process. Right. This is ugly. I'm staying away from banks, cards, all that other crap until we get some clear direction. Right. This is just chopped city. You get that big old elf shoe. You know, there's lots of stuff going on here. I don't like it. I'm gonna stay away from it for a little bit. S&P Midcap Constituent Camden Property Trust will replace People's United Financial and the S&P 500 effective prior to the opening of trading on April 4th. That is CPT, made the S&P 500. All right. It's still ugly. I still wouldn't trade that. Looks like they had a dividend day too. Okay. What else we got? In OPEC, there's news out of OPEC too, so we'll get there. Oh, he made it. Did he really make it? Hold on. Did he really join? Killer joined? Oh, snap. API weekly crude inventories fell 3 million barrels, while crude inventories at Cushing fell 1.14. Gasoline inventories fell 1.375 million barrels, and distillate inventories fell 200,000 barrels. Or 200. Yeah, I've been trying to get somebody to follow this, but no one is. So when we have supply and demand, all right, if there's no supply, the demand is going to be higher. Okay, so gas prices will continue to rise. Okay, all right. Lululemon earnings. I missed it. Oh, what did I do? I screwed that up, didn't I? All right. RH Corp. Remember these guys? We were looking at them yesterday. RH. I was like, what do they do? Well, I'll tell you what. They announced an announced intention to execute a 3-for-1 stock split. Right. Off of earnings. Right. Up and down and up and down. Like that's a big move. 340. That's $100 move. Jeez. Talk about schizophrenic. Stay away from it. Lululemon. Lulu. Somebody actually asked us in the group the other day, what is Lulu? Right? They're like, what is Lulu? What is Lululemon Athletica? I'm like, whoa. You don't know what Lulu is? Anyway, it ripped. Okay. Q4 EPS 337 versus 328. Q4 revenues rose 23%, in line with estimates. Q4 comp sales see 22%, of course. Then malls start opening up, but most importantly, they announced a $1 billion share buyback plan. Okay. This is paraboomer, parabolic paraboomer. JD Whittaker. All right. What do we do here? Just I don't think there's anything we can do. I think we've missed the boat. Like if we got in, earlier or even last week, right? We could have done something. The only thing I see is 384 being a little resistance, and it's only 10 points. So we pull back to the monthly, weekly mids, right? 355, 360, right? Or we come back all the way back down here and test the 4-hour top. Which is the stronger magnet, the 200-day on the 4-hour or the 4-hour? Right. Peg stocks, which is a post-earnings gappers, which is what this is, have a tendency to run for a couple days afterwards. I would look at 383, right? 380 psychological level, 383 200-day. I don't think it's going to get through it the first attempt on its way to the weekly top. Depending on what it looks like, you may sell a 390 400 called debit spread for credit, right? There's lots of things you can do here. I just wouldn't be trying to catch this. So I'm looking at futures, and we're taking a dive. Like this may be a down day. We may get our first down day in 6 days, something like that, which would be good for me because I'm in Nvidia puts and AMD puts as well. Okay. In world news, Bank of Japan announced steps to increase bond purchases as a curve, seeing strong upward pressure increase the amount of 3 to 5 year JGB bond purchases by about 150 billion yen, increased amount to the 5 to 10 year by 300 billion yen, announced emergency bond buying opportunity and offers to buy 100 billion yen of the 10 to 25 year bonds, and offering to buy 50 or 500 billion yen of the 5 to 10 year bonds. Yeah, global oil prices jumped on Wednesday, pulling U.S. crude stock back towards 110 per barrel level, and we did get a Wu-Tang breakout on that. We'll see that in a second. As traders react to data showing a decline in domestic crude stocks and reports of possible sanctions on Russian energy exports. The API said late Tuesday that U.S. crude stocks fell by bigger than expected 3 million barrels per last week. I just told you, supply and demand. If there's no supply, the demand will increase. If you build it, they will come. Okay. Earnings after the close today. Nothing that we trade. Nothing at all. Path. I remember trading Path at one point. We've traded this in the past, right? They have earnings after the close. They're kind of extended. Like I don't see them breaking above 33.50, right? But they've got that 50-day that's kind of looming. Nothing. Oh, 5 had earnings before the bell, right? Talk about flat. Jeez. Can you believe this used to be a $2,000 stock? Oh, have the mighty have fallen. Could you imagine buying in at 1900 for your long-term investment on February 16th, and less than 10 days later, you had lost $1,000 per share? Can you believe that shit? Oops. Please don't. Just don't. Come on. Oopsie. Economic. We do have eco data today. Lots of it. Okay. NBA mortgage application data coming in at 7 Eastern, which is already passed. Non-farm payrolls hit expectations, right? Lower than expected. GDP quarter over quarter is coming out here in about 10 minutes. Crude oil inventories are coming out at 10:30. FOMC member Georgia speaking at 1. Yeah, so 8:30 should be a kicker. So we got GDP, consumer spending, and price deflator. PC prices and core PC prices all at 8:30, and then the weekly DOE inventory at 10:30 right here. This guys. So the next couple hours are definitely going to move the market. So just be careful. Okay. All right. US S&P futures are down slightly at 46.09, just above overnight lows at 46.04. As the comment says, no breakthrough in Ukraine talks. With much work remains. A little less commentary than what was provided to markets yesterday when talks were said to be more constructive. Reuters reported Ukraine and Western allies on Wednesday dismissed a Russian military pullback from near Kiev as a ploy to refit troops after heavy losses. Even as invading forces bombed cities elsewhere, U.S. senators are walking into a 4-day win streak. U.S. investors are walking into a 4-day win streak in a momentous run over the last 2 weeks that has significantly narrowed year-to-date losses and moved the S&P and Dow within less than 5% of their respective all-time highs. Okay. The S&P 500 is now up 400 points as FOMC rose interest rates by 25 BPS 2 weeks ago and have called for more aggressive tightening to curb rising inflation. Higher inflation in the ongoing war in Ukraine, a more hawkish Fed, and higher Treasury borrowing costs are all factors that stock markets have overcome during this stretch as well, as markets have surged. In Asian markets, the Nikkei index dropped 225 points, or 0.8%. Yeah, Bay fell down. Okay, the Shanghai rose 62 points, or 1.97. Hang Seng gained 139, and in Europe, the DAX is down over 200 points. FTSE 100 is flat. German bonds extend decline. Their 10-year jumps 6 BPS. German Council of Economic Experts significantly lowers German 2022 growth to 1.8% versus 4.2%. That's a big, right? That's a big adjustment. Real big. Like, whoopsie, we're only going to grow about half as much as what we were. Okay. Big morning of economic data with Q4 final GDP expected, along with a handful of inflation reports, including PCE core prices at 8:30, as well as the monthly ADP private employment data at 8:15 Eastern, which it just came out, which comes ahead of non-farm payroll reports on Friday. Okay. What does all that mean? Let's check it, shall we? That means whoopsie. Yeah, we're dropping and rolling. Okay, let's check it out from a daily perspective and we will get going. Okay. I'm going to burn through this kind of quickly. I feel like we're in a need for a pullback. This is, everybody ever wants to know what a Wu-Tang reversal looks like. Here it is, right? It's Wu Wednesday. Throw on some Wu-Tang. Have a good day, right? You get a down move. You get an up move, you get a down move, you get an up move. And as soon as you break that 4 spot, right, you go long. That's that Wu-Tang reversal. The key is you have to break above, right? Usually back test the 2 level. It's a 1, 2, 3 Dow reversal, but we call it the Wu-Tang reversal. It usually happens on Wednesdays. That's why we call it Wu-Tang Wednesday. And then plus, that's when the Wu-Tang show was on. All right, looking at it from a daily perspective, we cleared above our 618 retracement, also above that snow line. All right, this tree line is a magnet. It's also a 1 point, okay? Looking for a 2150 cross up today, which can hold prices up if we start pulling back, okay? So, do we need a pullback? Well, on the 4-hour, we've got stacked positive moving averages. We ran up and we tested the skyline. We've got this snow line, the 618 retracement, 45, 38, 25 is support. Any pullback to the 21 would be fine, even to the 50-day, right? As long as we don't start breaking down below the 50-day, I think we're going to be okay. And this is the ES 4-hour. Excuse me. We bring it down to the 30-minute, right? We're still in an uptrend, okay? We're still uptrending, but we may get a down day. We need a breather, right? We need to come back, regroup, let some of these things catch up a little bit, okay? I'm a little concerned that on the 30-minute we broke the 50-day, so we may get a down day, right? We may get retesting of some lows, right? But this has been a massive run, right? As soon as we got that 2150 crossover, we rallied. Right, that 21 stayed above the 50 this whole time. So as long as we don't get this 21 right here crossing down below the 50, I think this is just a healthy pullback. We could look at a fib level, right? Fib from high, right? Just pick a low, right? Let's go off of this run, right? We could pull back to some of these key levels, even as far, if we even pulled back all the way back down here, that would still be testing the 200-day. I think we're going to be okay. I don't think it's like, it's not like we need to worry about this kind of a move where we don't know if we're going to stop, right? Usually when we break previous highs, right, we don't just keep going because the amount of energy and momentum it takes to get us through previous highs is so great. Right, so I'd be looking for, pulling back to some key levels of support. Maybe we have a pullback today for a longer move up into next week. Okay. Yeah, I guess let's check out what the numbers have. The numbers haven't came out yet. Need 4 minutes. Did they come out already? All right, we'll check in that in a second. All right. That's the ES, the NQ. All right. See, remember yesterday we were talking about what can we expect from the NQ. NQ was coming to test its 200-day, right? And what did it do? It broke above it. We're trying to stay above it. We're fighting to stay above this 200-day on the NQ. Could see some chop for the next couple days as a bull flag forms along here. We're going to get a 2150 touch or 21 EMA 50-day test right today. Right, we're going to see what happens if it can break above it. I think that might be enough to keep us bull flagging. Right, contrarian, we pull back. We have support coming in at 1502. Right, target 15417. We were at a 618 retracement of this move. See this move here? From high to low, this is a 618 level. If we can get above it, right, that means that we've officially started moving in an uptrend. If we reject it, it's not unheard of it to reject it and consolidate between 618 and 50 for a couple days to build up some strength and momentum. The other one that we have to look at here is this move from high to low, which depending on where we drop our fib, right? Right, so it probably makes sense to look at this on like more of a shorter term time frame. Get rid of all this stuff. All right, so nice move up to Skyline. Now we get to move back to Snowline or potentially retest to 21. This is the 4-hour. Stack positive moving averages on the 4-hour, right? We ate through that supply zone. We're going to come and back test, right? Which is fine. We need to have a pullback so we can have a continued move to the upside, okay? I'd be looking at 15,035, 15,000 psychological, or this 21-day, this 50-day. I mean, I don't think that we're going to like necessarily have a super down day. 14,800 is kind of the line in the sand, right? If we break it down to a 30-minute. Six one eight, 618, 618 failure. Let's come back and test the 50% and get another run at it, shall we? Right. Again, we need to see what happens with this 21 touch test the 50-day. It's came down below it before, but it's, you know, it's gotten back above it. This 200-day is rising. I think we're good. But I think we are due for a pullback. Like, I think, you know, a healthy pullback, you know, to some of these levels here. Oh, there it is, right? So 15,040, right? 035, 040, below that. 14,963, below that. 14,991. I don't think we get this big of a pullback, right? Healthy pullback is okay. Hopefully everybody doesn't start panicking off of this. You got to realize that pullbacks are needed and necessary for a healthy market. You can't always just go up. All right. Look at the Dow. The dilly-dally daily Dow broke above the 200 with some force. It's back testing the 618 retracement. It can come back as low as 34,880 or a previous high, right? Bull flag, right? Consolidation bull flag over the next couple of days. I don't think we get any further moves to the upside. We're waiting for this 21 to cross up and over the 50-day. If it can do that, it should start pulling the 50 up, and we get some stack, a little healthier stack positive moving averages on the Dow. From a 4-hour perspective, we are just riding that 35,050 level. If we pull back, like I said, we got the 21-day down here, right? So skyline to skyline, right? Wouldn't be unheard of. That would be a pullback to the 21, retest the 50-day on the 4-hour, right? We're not coming back down this low, okay? We're not gonna break down and through this. I think the 50-day will hold, okay? That would be a good test. Looking at it from this perspective, really gonna watch what happens with this 2150. We've had it cross down before, but it immediately got ripped back up, right? From a fib perspective, if we fib from high to low, right? 618 is 34,960. 50% retracement is 34,863. I think that would be fine. I don't know if we come and retest the 382. I think that's a little too much, especially with this rising 200, right? I think we get a 200-day retest. Okay. All right, numbers are out. Let's check it out. GDP. Shoo. Lower than expected. Yeah, we're going to react like it's super weird. Hmm. Okay. All right. So I think we have a down day. Not a big deal. Okay, not a big one. And the red-headed Russell. So the Russell has been doing really well lately. It's kind of been leading the way, and then that's due to big influx of small caps, American Airlines, Carnival Cruise Lines, AMC, right? Those type of fellas. 1618 retracement. Let's just kill these fib levels here, right? Let's get rid of some of this junk we don't need anymore. Okay, we still haven't tested the 200-day. We did rip up through snowline. We're going to go snowline to snowline, right? Or 382 to 50% retracement. 2150 cross up and over. If the Russell has a down day today, so we had a 2150 cross up bounce, right? We bounced up there. We hit skyline, snowline. If we break down below 2114, I think we retest 2103, possibly down to 2086, right? A pretty big move down, testing the 21 to 50 day pullback. Let's keep in mind we've got lots of support here. All right. $30-minute move. So the Russell's 30-minute 50 seems to be holding. Okay. If we do break down below 2120, we have support at 2115. Below that, we come and test some of these previous levels, right? 2100 level seems to be pretty decent. Rising 200-day gives me a lot of confidence that I don't think we come back down to 50% retracement, right? So keep an eye on the Russell. All right. Let's look at some gold. I'm going to burn through these last three pretty quickly. Okay. All right. What's going on with gold? Well, it tested its 50-day, right? Bounced off of it. It's looking to retake the 21. It's got overhead trendline resistance. So like I said, we're going to chill out on gold until it can prove to us that it wants to get back above the 21-day and retest the 618. If we can start getting a move above that, then this is just a healthy pullback, recovery, reset, whatever you want to call it. Is it a head and shoulders? I don't think so. That 50-day is so powerful. Like we dip down as soon as we hit that 382 retracement, beep. So gold. There's gold in the Mar Hills. Let's see what it looks like on the 4-hour. Not liking in this pattern. This ooh, what do we got here? All right, so this thin line is a 21, the thick line is a 200, the medium line is a 50-day. We haven't been able to retake the 21 on the 4-hour yet, right? So if we can start getting some closes above the 21, above the 200, watch for this 50-200 bounce. If the 50 crosses down below the 200, that's a death cross, and I would look at going short on gold, right? Contrarian, if it bounces and we start getting some stacked positive moving averages, the 21 takes, right, curls back around and up. Right, the 21 curls back around and up. We get this 50-day bounces and comes back up like that. I'll see what I'm trying to do here. It all depends on if we can get these wicks to start being candlesticks that close above those key levels, right? Pull back, rip up. Remember, we do have overhead resistance here, right? Looks like it's going to come into play. So for me, I'd go long on, there it is. Imagine that 200-day right at that trend line. So set an alert for gold above 1938 for a move to 48, 57, and 62. Okay, if it can't get above it, then we're going to just chop here for a little bit. Possible inverted head and shoulders. Neckline has pretty much been broken. Yeah. Okay, look at crude. Your crude's going to have a day. All right, what happened? Well, we came down. This is probably the 200-day here. Up and back. So we made a higher high, higher low, continuation up. And I think we start getting, so I think crude's back, 114, 115 are some of the key levels I'm looking at for that. Nice trading zone right here that runs 108, 108.68 to 116. That's an $8 move. There's a nice trading zone there. It's been quite a few times. So from here to here, here to here, here to here, right? Here to here, here to here, right? Lots of, there's a trading zone right there. It just runs this candle. Okay. For a 30-minute, what do we got going on? Yeah. So draw a trend line, a little bit of a wedge breakout. I don't know anything that moves similarly to crude. I know that there are some stocks out there that do. I just can't remember who they are. All right, this is T-bond futures. Obviously, we've had many down days because the market's been going up, 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 up. Now, if TLT starts to rally, remember we said that if you wanted to get into some puts at TLT, you definitely could. Well, I think we start getting a little bit of a reversal here. Does this set up a big old gnarly inverse head and shoulders? Possibly. Snowline, skyline rejection. All right. I would wait till we get above 150.0. 150.10. So move to 151.07 above from 151.07, 153 is pretty easy incoming. Up and down, up and down, up and down. It's going to chop its way up, so just be careful. We are seeing a little bit of recovery coming up on the yen, right? It rallied up, it tested its 50-day. We're going to get, there's a bull flag forming here. We're going to see if the yen can retake the 50-day. If that happens, then the market should pull back. All right, we're getting a little bit of a recovery intraday on our futures. Let me just show you from a 5-minute perspective what this looks like. All right. Melting down, ADP numbers came out, coming back up. This is a good woo reversal. Get long here. This is, I don't want to see chop, right? So from an NQ perspective, the 5-minute, we retested the 50-day, failed it, continued to move down. If this 21 can bounce up and continue to move forward, it should pull price with it. Contrarian though, if that 21 breaks down below it, then we're going to have, obviously we're going to have a down day. We gave up the 200, we gave up the 50, right? This was a big move. This exhausted us. There's nothing up here. Like, it's just empty. There's no supply. So we're going to come back down here to the demand zone. We're going to pick up some of these levels that we missed, and then we're going to make another attempt at it. Okay. We're below the 200-day on everything except for gold. And this is a 5-minute chart. This is your intraday trading chart. This is crude, right? This is just short rip, short rip, short rip. You want me to run an extension from here? Okay, I can. All right, there it is, folks. If we break below 46.02, we get a quick move back down to 45.85, right? If you want to recreate this on your chart, pull up the 5-minute chart. Go from the low, March 29th at 9:40 to the high, March 29th at noon, right? That 3-hour move. That'll give you, and do it as an extension. So from low to high, back down to low, that gives you this current runs direction, okay? The other one I have is from the March 28th low to the March 29th high. It's just a retracement. So I retrace from this high to this low. That gives me these longer term levels that everything seemed to line up with correctly. So that's a good baseline. So from 618. All right, let's get into it. Next up on our list is our bread and butter stocks. There we go. AMD or NVIDIA. Come back to earth, baby. I have the 270 puts. Do we hit 270 today? I doubt it. I think we're going to get a pullback, but I don't think we're going to give up. Maybe there's our weekly quant levels right here at 252, right? That would represent a big failure on NVIDIA. Oh, these quant levels, that's magic. Y'all don't know about those yet. I can't really share them with you anymore either. Okay. All right, bread and butter stocks. All right, this is our bread and butter list. Obviously, we're going to get some rolling over today. Apple, like I said, Apple below 177.50, 176. You can easily run a fib from high to low to get your potential support levels for Apple, right? 174.86 is a 50% retracement, which kind of makes sense. 174.50, 174.86. I like this as a downside target for Apple. I don't think we get a big move today to the upside. Of course, I don't want to be biased. So Apple above 179, 180, 181, below 177.50, 177, 175, 174. AMD, respecting the channel, right? Respecting the channel. Now it's time to come back down to earth. Below 121, 119. I think that's it. I don't think we come back to 116 land, 116.50. We might though. All right. Google's. All right, remember Google's? I was kicking myself 2 days ago. I was like, let's get in Google longs. All right. Well, Google did its job. Google below 28.40, 28.28, 2800. Okay, those are the key levels for Google. And yes, those voodoo lines are voodoo for a reason, right? We break above the tree line, we go right to the skyline, retrace, ripping through, consolidate, ripping through. So we break down, we consolidate in this level here. All right, next up is NVIDIA. Viddy. All right, so I mean, this is just nasty, right? Big ol' rip pre-market. I think I got in puts a little early yesterday, but what I'd like to see is I've got those 270 puts. So, I mean, to move to 273 would put me in the money. Break this trend line. I don't have voodoo level on here. For real though. There we go. So below 281, 265 coming. Ooh, that is a big drop. It's a nasty drop. Maybe 15 minutes. I say below 281, we hit 265. Oh, dude, if we hit 265, I'm going to be a happy camper. I will be a happy, happy camper. All right. 271, 277, 271, 266. These orange lines are previous VWAPs. Okay. All right. Tesla, this rounding top is kind of sketchy from a fib perspective, right? We ripped up 618 retracement, popped up. We are consolidating between a couple of moving averages. We do have a 50. We're holding the 200 on the 15. Looks like we broke down below it, right? So Tesla below 1085, we hit 1079, 1065, 1051, right? That's just a healthy pullback, 50% retracement, 382. If we hold this level, that means this uptrend is valid and will continue. If we break down below it, we need to look at a downtrend. Tesla broke out. Tesla, does it break out? Tesla does what Tesla wants to do, but, right, it's just kind of ugly, to be honest with you. Tesla's having trouble with the 15-minute 200 and 15-minute 50 day. I'm going to look at Tesla. Shoot, let's look at Tesla 1,000 puts. Why not? Right? 1,000 puts, pretty decent. SPY gave up the ghost. 45, 55, QQQ, 363, pit stop at 366, and Netflix. Netflix is really outperforming everything. Netflix support at 383, below that, 377. Very easily bounce here and move up. Now Netflix is kind of leading the way. All right, let me get up. All right, next up on our list, this is FlowTrade. This is a smart money, dark pool, and block trade algorithm software. I really need to put a little bit. I got to figure out how to give you guys more time in this. All right. Killer, you were here first. Do you have any requests? So it would be Killer, Johnny, Andrea, Terry. Everybody that bought all those small caps yesterday are about to get clapped. All right, Ford. So nice gap up, trading with the flow index. Flow index makes a high, a low, another high, pull back, another high. This gap is a little bit concerning to me, but since they're buying into it, right? The flow trade is trading with price action. May get a little bit of consolidation. That's an awfully steep trend line right there to be using as support, right? Dark pool support 1776. You have regular block support from 1757 all the way down to about 1731. Below 1731, we gap fill 1668. But with the flow index trading with price action and moving up, I think that, I mean, we're at a key level here. The flow index can about phase really easily and pull price down with it. This gap is really concerning, right? So imagine the amount of energy it takes for a stock to gap up and then maintain that gap, right? Especially with no dark pools coming in to help pump it up. So you had a couple blocks come in at the close yesterday. You'll know quickly if these are sell orders, right? If we start moving down quickly, if they're selling these, which I think that they may. Let's see. That gap is so worrisome though, because Ford does fill gaps, right? All right. All right, next up on the list is space. This is bearish divergence at its finest, right? Let's say this divergence is played out here, right? Let's just say that's your divergent line. And let's just say price came down, price went up, came down. Let's just say this divergence here is done. They've been net selling this for a couple of weeks now. And if we just wanted to play this newest divergence that's here, right? Let's just play this divergence right here. Okay. 940. Dark pools came in at the close at 11. So if these are sell orders, then we're going to get a quick flush back down. This divergence is trading out. They're net selling. They're selling out of this position, right? They started buying in here, right? Price comes up, they start selling out of their position. As people are buying into it, they're selling you these shares, right? That divergence is cleared. Space 935. Hood, same deal, right? Got white line 1296, regular at 1319, regular at 1364. These blocks have not been filled. Okay, they came in on the 29th at 930. So you've got a regular block here. You've got regular block here, right? That price just gapped up through. You got a dark pool level here. That came in at the close, right? This is a big sell order. This is big bearish divergence, right? So I would look at 13 puts, 1350, 1350 puts on Hood. Spibbity SPY. What's the SPY doing? Let's go SPY. All right. I'd say all this divergence is traded out, right? SPY's got a white line at 459.50, right? It's got another one. Look at all these blocks down here that have not been filled at 455.86. Remember, I just looked at that. $455.86 is the 200-day on the 15-minute. Okay. 455.86. Look at all these blocks down here. Massive amount of blocks. This is a magnet, right? This divergence is traded out, right? This micro divergence right here. All of this is already traded out. This is a 15-minute chart, which might give you a little bit better view of it. Okay, so trading with price, divergence occurred here, divergence traded out. Now trading with price, big blocks down here and these gaps that need to be filled. 459.51. Below that, I think we come back, gap fill to the downside, white line resistance at 461.80. Okay, that's the SPY. All right, I gotta run. Thanks for joining me. I'm Dark Pool Algo. I'm here every morning, Monday through Friday. If you have any requests or anything that y'all would like to see, hit me up either in the chat, hit me up in the comment section below, reach out to me on Discord, whatever y'all need, please let me know. Have a great day. I'm gonna go get myself 15 minutes to get prepared for today. Again, my favorites would be NVIDIA 273s. Oh, I called it out earlier. Dang it. Okay. This is what happens when I don't write stuff down. Tesla 1000 puts. Tesla 1140 calls. 1140 calls, 1000 puts. SPY 455 puts. QQQ 366 puts. 364 puts. QQQ above 369, right? Above this 50-day, we get 372. I would look for rejection and melting down. Okay. Netflix, if Netflix can hold the 50-day, if Netflix can hold 388, then we may get an additional pop up to 393, 394, create a big head and shoulders on the 15-minute. Contrarian, Netflix gives up the ghost, breaks below 388. It's got the 200-day at 383, and then previous VWAP levels 377. Netflix, so far Netflix looks the strongest of the bunch. Apple fighting its 50-day. Apple below 177. We get just use some fib retracements, 174, 173. Okay. Got to run. Thanks for joining me. I will see you all in the groups. And make sure you hit the like button on the way out the door.